success, becoming one of their most popular DLC packs. Outrage over a small piece of downloadable content may seem quaint now, but back in 2006, although many people laughed at the idea, Bethesda Game Studios and the industry at large paused a sort of experiment, where the hypothesis was to see how much extra gamers would be willing to spend to get more out of their games, the results of which were overwhelmingly positive for the industry. Here in the present, horse armor wouldn't even be worth a headline on a news site or a post on Reddit. It's an industry practice that's not only expected, but in many cases accepted. The industry as it is not only wants more of your money, but as much time as you can possibly invest in their products, to the point where for many, playing a game has practically become a job.
Oh no, did you get, oh my god.
So I'm going to guess that 100% of you watching this video watch content on streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, or one of the dozens upon dozens available. I mean, why wouldn't you? Cable costs as much as a monthly car payment, and reading books is for nerds and far too slow. Having endless hours of movies and shows available to watch at any time of day is great, but streaming has its faults. There's too many services and content gets removed far too often. You could be in the middle of watching a series on Netflix, and when you return to it the next day, it's suddenly gone with no explanation, or it could have moved to another streaming service. However, while that content might not be available where you are, it could still be on Netflix elsewhere in the world. But how do you watch it without paying for a plane ticket? Well, Surfshark has you covered. Surfshark is a virtual private network which can route your internet connection through its thousands of servers around the world and give you access to geo-restricted content that would otherwise be available in your country. So if you wanted to continue watching that show, you can see what's available on Netflix in other regions of the world, and you honestly would be amazed at all of the content that's available elsewhere. All you have to do is open up the app or browser extension, click on the country you want, and within seconds you are connected to a fast, reliable and secure server. It's way more than that though. For example, some airlines will offer different prices in other countries. Like if I wanted to fly back to the UK from the US, it's almost double what it is when booking in the US. But using a VPN allows you to book flights at an international rate, potentially saving a huge amount of money. More than anything though, Surfshark keeps you safe by encrypting your data through its secure servers, ensuring that your activity and privacy remains protected, whether this is at home, on pretty much any device that you own, or on unsecured public Wi-Fi. So this Black Friday, viewers of my channel can receive a special limited time deal, where if you use the promo code SolariTV or visit the link in the description, you can get up to 6 additional months free with your subscription. There's multiple plans available, including Surfshark One, which provides features like alerts for data breaches and antivirus. I've been a Surfshark user for a few years now and can personally vouch for it being a great service. So if you want to surf a safe and open web, sign up to Surfshark today and save with this fantastic deal. Once again, that promo code is SolariTV, or click on the link below for this superb deal. Spending real money to get more out of a game is a fairly old concept. In fact, it goes back as early as 1990, where in the arcade game Double Dragon 3, The Rosetta Stone, players could visit an in-game shop where they could insert more coins, by which I mean actual currency, into the arcade cabinet to buy power-ups from a vendor. Arcade games by their very nature were designed to take as much money from you as possible by drastically increasing the difficulty the more you progress and giving you limited means for survival. The further you got into an arcade game, the likelier you were to drop more into the coin slot. Now that the home video game market has all but turned the arcade into a nostalgic novelty, the way we play games has changed, but the model it established still exists. Not within the grimy walls of a building where your senses are assaulted by lights, music, and the rattling of arcade sticks smashing against an octagonal gate, but within your phone. Mobile games, however, can't accept your coins, so instead they bargain with your time. When you lost in an arcade game, you'd get 10 very long seconds to rummage through your pocket and find another coin to continue your run. With many mobile games, however, developers sort of cut you off. On paper, this sounds like it could be a good idea. After all, it's not really healthy to keep playing for too long, but they're not looking out for you like that. Mobile games, at least the free ones, give you so many attempts at something before putting a barrier in place. in the form of a cooldown, which says that you can't try again until so much time has passed. But if you want to negate this barrier, you can bypass it by paying real money for it. It's a surprisingly very effective method. A lot of people will play a game, find some momentum, and when they hit a point where they think, I just need one more try, they pay a small amount of money and keep it going. A playing player is a paying player, and if a player wants to play, then they have to pay. It sounds like the beginning of a terrible rap. Or a tongue twister. The playing player is a paying player, and if a player wants to play, then they have to pay. First try. You see, ever since technology has increased the speed and convenience in which we can purchase things, game developers have taken advantage of this. Whether this is more attempts at playing, horsey cosmetics, additional characters, gameplay boosts, weapons, items, or even a dot for $1, you can get new things for your games almost instantaneously. $1 spent here and there on a video game may not seem like much, but make no mistake, the microtransaction model is the cash cow of the industry, which is why mobile gaming, which is largely driven by microtransactions, generated more revenue than console and PC games combined in 2022. The common sentiment you'll hear from longtime gamers is that they miss the days where when you bought a game, it would be a complete product, where if there was any additional content, then you could unlock it through playing the game or even looking up cheat codes. Everything that was on the cartridge or disc that you bought would be all the game that you would ever have. It was up to and around the 6th generation of consoles where this was the case, with games released for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox, but there were some exceptions after the latter made a major push to incorporate online features. If you wanted more out of a game, then it would sometimes be the case that developers released expansion packs, which gave players more content via new quests or a full standalone campaign, which sometimes followed the conclusion of the main campaign or were made available after reaching a certain point in the base game. To this day, we still occasionally see expansions released for games. This year alone, we've seen the excellent Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk 2077, which provided up to 20 to 30 hours of extra story, and the Separate Ways expansion for Resident Evil 4, which ironically was something that you can unlock for free in the original version. Expansions are great if you are someone who enjoys spending time in a video game, then an opportunity to spend more time there is a welcome one. I know that I was a little heartbroken when I heard that there wouldn't be any additional content for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and that it'll now be a couple of years until we might see a Baldur's Gate 3 expansion. But in our present times, video games are more time-consuming and expensive than they've ever been in the past, requiring massive amounts of personnel who, as we've sadly learned in recent years, are treated poorly in the pursuit of delivering a high-quality product to the consumer. Some people would argue that that's the cost of creating art, but those people are wrong and part of the problem. Given the cost of creating something as substantial as an expansion, there's an argument to be made that the investment required isn't worth it. Not only is it expensive, but the amount of people that you can sell an expansion to is quite literally limited to the people who already own the base game. Yes, there are people who may suddenly decide that they wish to buy both, but the video game industry doesn't exist exclusively to satisfy players. The primary goal of developers and publishers is to generate as much revenue as possible, preferably with the lowest investment possible. There are still some genres which are known for receiving frequent player expansions and updates, namely sim games such as The Sims and Cities Skylines, both of which have dozens of content packs available for them, which fans generally love, except for The Sims 4, which put DLC behind more DLC, and the recent Cities Skyline 2 will continue that trend with future expansions. But the cost of producing this content is significantly smaller than, say, an expansion for a AAA game with a full story campaign. With that in mind, let's look at the choices that they have. Create an additional 20-hour plus campaign, which requires writing a new story, creating and designing new characters, modeling new areas, casting, hiring, motion capping and recording actors, developing new mechanics and systems, then selling it all for $30, or designing and modeling a fancy new costume that you can buy for a few dollars. You don't have to be a business genius to know that the latter is a safer bet. If a cosmetic doesn't sell much, then it's no big deal. It probably didn't take a staff of employees years to make, but if it does sell well, then your return on investment can be gigantic. And better yet, It can convince people to keep playing. After all, they have a fancy outfit now. They're going to want to show it off, especially if it's a multiplayer game. In recent years, live service games have become increasingly popular and more common. Practically every major developer has either tried.
Okay, guys, it is late Sunday morning, 7 a.m., and it has been 8 hours, which is a lot less than I normally do, but I think I am going to break early today in the interest of getting up a little bit earlier today. So I'm going to stop here. And I want to thank you again. I am not an affiliate of YouTube, but I am an affiliate of Twitch. And if you wish to support me, please come to skycat.live and click on the cat face to donate. If you saw me on YouTube today, and the videos and what I filmed tonight will be on YouTube tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I had a really good night, and thank you so much, and I love you. See you later. Bye.